The employment environment is always changing, and more businesses are looking for flexible, cost-effective solutions to stay ahead of the competition. In this short video, we'll look at some best practices in hiring and working with independent contractors. First, what are some advantages of working with independent contractors? Independent contractors help you quickly fill skills gaps in your team. This enables the growth of your business without taking on employees and the associated costs of training, onboarding, equipment, tax benefits, and even office space. You can also hire contractors on a project basis, meaning that once they complete a job, you part ways. This means no ongoing payroll commitment. Finally, an independent contractor might introduce their network, providing you access to additional skills and resources. What are some best practices when engaging independent contractors? Most important is to clearly define the tasks, the skills, and the commitment you need. At a minimum, get really clear on the job description, what you need done, and how long it will take. Knowing what skills are required will narrow your search, saving you time in recruitment and training. Next, follow a simple hiring process. It starts with publishing your job description in appropriate job forums. Try sites like Upwork, Freelancer, and Fiverr. Keep in mind you are not looking for an employee, in which case you would focus on long-term cultural fit. Instead, you're focused on whether the candidate will effectively complete the job you have defined. Many experienced subcontractors will have their own website, social media, reviews, and portfolio. Review them in detail and assess how the individual presents themselves as a potential business partner. Generally, you won't need multi-stage interviews for this. Then, before hiring, establish any ground rules in addition to the scope of work. There could be legal requirements such as confidentiality, ownership of intellectual property, and non-solicitation. Also, describe how they will communicate with your team, who they will interact with, as well as schedules for ongoing communications, activities, or milestones. Most important is to agree on the price, payment terms, and any contingencies or performance-based metrics. Next, work on setting up your subcontractor to succeed. Identify some small wins they can accomplish early on. Help them build confidence. Check in frequently and provide feedback. If they fail, you will fail, and that means wasted cash and time. The best subcontractors will appreciate your efforts and try to make a good first impression. That's the beginning of a successful interaction. Next, not every project will go exactly as planned, and you may need to modify terms. Take quick action, whether that means amending the contracts or even canceling the engagement. Don't allow things to linger, because generally, problems get bigger the longer they are left. Where possible, leave the subcontractor to work autonomously. Many subcontractors have chosen not to be employees to avoid the micromanagement they could experience in full-time employment. Next, facilitate teamwork as required. Some of your employees will be intrigued and very positive about your subcontractor relationships. Others may be dubious or even hostile. Take the time to explain things to your team so they support the direction. In many cases, they can learn from the subcontractors, and a fresh perspective will be valued. Make sure you build a feedback loop. At the outset, there should be frequent feedback meetings, but these can become less frequent over time. The purpose is to ensure things are on track or to quickly take action when they're off track. Keep a written record of important discussions, so there's a paper trail in the event of disputes later. Finally, consider longer-term arrangements if appropriate. Perhaps the first project will spawn an additional project. If you're working well with a subcontractor, engage them for additional work to avoid going through another hiring and training process. But also check the local laws on the definition of subcontractor, because some jurisdictions might define a recurring subcontractor relationship as an employment relationship. Working with independent contractors is an effective way of accessing skills on attractive terms. Follow these best practices for the best results. Thanks for watching.